spicy Pokemon and testing out new stuff that come in Pokemon Go and Great League is what I do on this channel, but sometimes I have the need to rise a little bit in Go Battle League, and this team definitely helped me with that. After tanking a lot lately, I decided to use a pretty meta and standard line with Gligar up in front, Bastiodon and Lickitung at the back, with Lickitung able to aggressively switch into the battle, draw out the fighter so that then you can finish it off with Gligar, and most likely Bastiodon will be left with a favorable matchup, or at the worst case scenario a neutral one. So we're looking at a pretty strong team that I think that you definitely need to check out. I had a 15-0 win streak with this team in Open Great League, and that worked well for me only because of the weird synergy that this team is having. I went from 2100 way up to 2350 in just 3 sets, which was absolutely insane for me. Also, that 15-0 win streak was the best one that I have had in my Go Battle League career, so yeah, that was something new to me. So let's see what we have going on now for the next battle, since the first one is already concluded and we're having now Azumarill up in front. Absolutely a nightmare for my team, but most Azumarills do not even run Hydro Pump, so we can definitely have the upper hand at some point even with our Bastiodon. Switching out to Lickitung now, and we're doing a lot of work against them, especially now that we have the energy lead. So whenever they block at this point, we are also gonna do exactly that, following their blocks. So here comes now my Body Slam, and as you're gonna see in a while, we're gonna block whatever they're gonna throw as well, because we want that lead scenario to change no matter what. I know that Azumarill is a hard check to my Gligar, so even against bad leads you need to sacrifice some seals with your punching bag. That being said, on our Lickitung, I'm also expecting the switch at some point, because my opponent is realizing here that they have not the advantage at this battle, so I'm expecting the switch, and that's how I managed to get the move on my Bastiodon. So Azumarill here is not gonna be a threat to my Bastiodon, because I have a feeling that this is not gonna be a Hydro Pump at all, just another play rough. We can survive those, and bubbles are never gonna be enough to farm us down. Look at how easy it is for our Mr. Wallface to do a lot of solid work even against those water types, and of course we're just gonna destroy them down with the Falling Stone Edge. We're getting super low here, and I do not want to get hit by another move. I want to preserve that little amount of HP that I have with my Bastiodon, and of course at this point they're gonna try to catch on their Lickitung. Here comes the Flamethrower, they're gonna go down with the Licky, and of course right after I will decide to go ahead and sacrifice my Bastiodon for the greater good. Of course that was not the best play ever. I should have gotten out to my Lickitung and not let them farm all that energy, but right after I will try to catch anyways on my Licky, and of course this is gonna be a Frenzy Plant, which is absolutely great for me, and at this point all I have to do is to reach to the RLA's finish of Serperior, and that's gonna be a strong victory for my team. I'm telling you, this team is pretty strong, so let's see how the next one is gonna go, because we're having a Whiscash up against us. This Pokemon is kinda troublesome because of Scald now, able to get there much faster than Blizzard, but still with the Blizzard threat we are getting one-shotted down, but with Scald we can survive one for sure, while those mud shots are never gonna be enough to finish us off. On this incident though, I decide to go ahead, bring my Lickitung into play. My opponent will take the risk of throwing the Scald. The risk benefits them since they apply the debuff, and right after they switch out to the Altaria. This is a pretty good play, but as you can see, Lickitung is so bulky and so spammy with those Body Slams, which means that we can get to another run, and even though we sacrifice a shield here, this is our main plan. We want to finish off Altaria no matter what, and at the worst case scenario they manage to block, but since they do not want to block here, we actually might have a chance at beating them down. We're gonna do a little bit of synergy damage to that Whiscash, so that in the end we might have the upper hand whatever remains at the back. And to our surprise, yes trainers, they have a fire type on the face of Skeletons, which means that our Bastiodon will be the wall face that we need for this closing scenario. Another move is coming off, we can definitely survive that, while we can manage to take a shield from that Whiscash. So with Whiskas using now their first shield into play and they farm us down, we stand only one chance against them. We need to get here to the RLAs as soon as possible to grab the shield and right after call the bait. I decide to not block here, this is risky, but the Mud Bomb is gonna be the move they throw. We managed to guess right here and the RLAs now will finish off Whiskas with style and we can take this victory, which was pretty hard earned to be honest. So into the next battle now and we're having a Lickitung up against us. This Pokemon is pretty bulky, you saw before, and what I want to do is to try and catch at least a move on my Lickitung, but this is not gonna happen at all. However, they decide to bring into the battle the Lantern, catching one Body Slam, and that will put them in combination with a few licks at the range of my Power Whip, and this is looking pretty good actually, because now I can get to the Power Whip, manage to go through those shields, down goes Lantern, and of course, since now they return to the battle with Lickitung, I can easily have the better alignment for my team, especially now that I can resist pretty much anything they're gonna throw on my Bastiodon, and even the neutral moves like the Power Whip is not gonna be that much threatful. So at the back they have a Trevenant, and of course right here we can have the upper hand because of how much spammier our Gligar boy can be into this battle. RLA's number 1, this will definitely do a lot of damage on that Trevenant, and right after we have a little bit of more RLAs. My opponent realizes that with Bastiodon around they stand no chance at all and they back out. Another bad lead, this time against this Sandslash, and we have now the switching to that Medicham. So this was the second battle that I had overall throughout the entire run that I was having, and right after this battle my 15-0 run began, so you can already tell that I lost this one, but we're having a very bad lead and a kinda weird switching to that Medicham. Not a lot of Medichams exist in the meta right now, so able to try and farm down with those wing attacks, and my Scorpio like Pokemon is just gonna fulfill the work. So right here now Sandslash is gonna emerge into the battle. They also have Powder Snow, which is kinda of a bad one for our team, and they are not switching out here. They want to stay in, throw the Drill Run, and of course I might actually have the chance at finishing them off. So at the back they have a Lickitung, and this means that they are kinda weak now to my Bastiodon. However, my HP levels are not that high, but we can still reach to a double Stone Edge for massive damage on their end. Can we possibly win this one, trainers? Because all of a sudden we have a win con here, even though I spoiled it for you on the beginning of this battle. I'm trying to switch out, I cannot do that right on time, but I know that even a Body Slam can easily be taken, while a Nice Punch will most likely one-shot us down. Here comes now the move. I will try to get my hands here to the Dig for massive damage and probably lethal to that poor Sandslash. Down they go. Now Lickitung returns, but unfortunately for me they have enough energy to finish me off. Bastiodon comes into the battle, and look at that, trainers, they managed to get the lethal licks and we go down to a very close outcome. Into the next battle now, we're having Gligar on the mirror. So here comes now the IRLAs from my part, and they managed to catch on the Dugong. Doesn't matter, they still have 2 IRLAs left, but we have only 1, and we can still go in there with our Bastiodon. I know that the Drill Run will not be that much of a big threat, especially when you have an Excel version of your Bastiodon, but at the same time I do not want to get the risk of getting 1 shield or 2 on my side go down. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead, throw that move to finish off Dugong, and in return they will snipe me down with that Dig. It doesn't matter at all, I know that my Gligar stands on the high ground here, since now we can go ahead and throw those RLAs on the shield, trying to catch the next RLAs of their own on my Lickitung, but we end up switching out at the same time. This is looking super fantastic for me, because now we can block the Thunderbolt and have the upper hand with those Power Whips. My opponent will also block, and at this point I am waiting for them to throw the next Thunderbolt to block it as well, but look at how smart they are. They're just gonna throw the Surf because they realize that I want to block those Thunderbolts no matter what, and of course right after I have the Power Whip on their side. Here comes now the Thunderbolt, the real move now, since we have no shields at all. We managed to catch it on our ground typing, and they have at the same time some energy to throw from that Gligar to ours. So another move is is coming off, unfortunately for us, on the CMP, which means here that we're getting super low and we need to undercharge as much as we can. Of course, I'm gonna get to the nice charge up, a little bit of extra leaks. Now Lantern returns, and due to that perfect undercharge, we managed to get the amazing amount of energy that we needed, the correct amount of energy, and we can get that victory for this battle. Into the final one now, trainers, and we're having a Ninetales from the Alola region up in front. I don't care about the moveset, even if it is a Charmer or a Powder Snow. I'm just gonna switch out to my Leaky Tank as always to try and draw out something that my Gligar and my Bastiodon might actually be afraid of. Not even a Gligar, just a Bastiodon. I want to bait out the fighter, to be fair. So here comes out of nowhere that Clodsire, and we can do some spammy damage on their side. I know that Clodsire stands no chance at all up against my Gligar, but still it could be a severe threat to my Bastiodon, even if it is not a fighter. All those ground types are also gonna be kinda problematic for my closer. So Scorpio Boy is coming into the battle, and I know for a fact that even if they have Stone Edge, which is neutral, we can easily survive a couple of them, but I'm getting very close to 100 energy stored up, so I'm just gonna throw the dig here to finish off that poor Clodsire no matter what. I also know here that I have to protect my Scorpio Boy as much as possible, so in doing so we managed to get to another double charge attack, this time to grab the shield. But for the second one, I was counting the moves and I was pretty sure they had the energy needed for that Weather Ball. Able to catch here the move on the wall face, and right after we have the Stone Edge for that Lantern. So Lantern is gonna do super effective damage with those serves, but as you can see, when you have an excelled wall face, you have nothing to worry about. Even those super effective moves do not deal enough damage, even those serves from that weird dolphin, whatever, anglerfish Pokemon that is. So here comes now another move, a triple serve combo, but I decide to block the next move since now I can easily go ahead and throw my Stone Edge to either threat the shield or grab the finish off against that Lantern. They managed to shield, but this is looking just fantastic for me. All I want to do here is to farm the one Pokemon and then finish off with a simple move. So here comes out of nowhere the Lantern for the final time, and the dig will do for the overkill here, and we can grab this final victory for this video. Thank you for watching, trainers, and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you are new to my content, and with that said, I have 2 videos for you to check out. Feel free to check them out, and I will catch you up later into the next one.